Okay, so I'm going to ask you to start by coming to child's pose. So on your mat, or find some space, take your knees out wide, sit your hips back to your heels, reach your fingertips forward, and if your forehead does not touch the floor, fold your arms underneath your head. And so with your eyes closed here, let's just start with a few rounds of breath. So inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. And just take a moment to notice where you feel your breath in your body. If you mostly feel your breath in your chest, try to expand your breath into your belly. And then take a few rounds of breath and try to deepen your breath so your inhales are longer and fuller and your exhales are slower. And just take one more full belly breath here. As you exhale, let it all go. And then if you need to, stretch your arms back up. We're going to lift up to tabletop. So coming up to all fours, tuck your knees underneath your hips. Make sure your hands are right underneath your shoulders. And we'll move through a few rounds of cows and cats. So as you inhale, tuck your toes under, draw your belly down, bring your gaze forward, turn your sit bones up. And then as you exhale, flatten out your feet, press your spine up, tuck your chin, tuck your hips. Continue on your breath. So inhale as you come into cow and exhale as you press into cat. And let's do a good 2 or 3 more. Inhaling slowly and exhaling slowly. Trying to still breathe through your nose with your mouth closed. And if you can't, if your nose is stuffy or for whatever reason you can't, then just breathe. It doesn't have to be a certain way. Let's take one more round. So one more full inhale. One more long, slow exhale. And then we're just going to come back to a neutral position. Walk your right hand higher than your left. So you're reaching that those right fingers forward. And we're just going to sit back in child's pose. So with the right arm extended, we'll really focus on creating space in the right side of the body. So feel that space in the right rib cage and the right shoulder. Stay for a full breath here. And then lift your way back up to tabletop, and we'll switch out the hands. So the right hand comes down, the left arm goes up, and we'll sit back in child's pose, creating space in the left side of the body. See if you can take a full breath. See if you can make that a belly breath. And then gently walk your way back up to tabletop. We're going to scoot the knees close together. Walk back and take a seat on your heels. So we're just going to sit on the heels. This is Thunderbolt. The name of this pose is Thunderbolt. And we're going to take a little twist here. So take your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you. You can either touch the floor with your right fingertips or wrap your right arm around your back. Using your left hand to give you a little leverage, start to turn your chest toward the right side. Look over your right shoulder. Stay for a full breath. And then without moving anything but your head, turn and look over your left shoulder. Stay for a breath. And then release the gaze to neutral. Come back to center. We're going to bring the right hand to the right thigh. Sweep the left arm up and just lean gently to the left side. The right side, sorry. It might feel good to take the left hand to the back of the head and then open the left elbow and lift the gaze. It's a good stretch here through the side of the body and the chest. Just stay for one breath. And then release the left arm up, bring the left hand back down. We'll take the twist to the other side. So right hand goes to the left thigh. Left hand can go to the floor or it can wrap around your back. Twist around to the left. Make sure you're still sitting tall. Look over the left shoulder. Take a big breath here. And then without moving anything but the head, turn and look over the right shoulder. Take a breath here. And then release, come back to center. Bring your left hand to your left thigh. We'll reach the right arm up. Lean to the left, just getting that side body stretch. Option to keep the right arm up, or you could bring the right hand to the head, open the right elbow, and lift the gaze. Take a full breath here. And then come back up to neutral. Walk the hands back out to the mat, coming back up to tabletop. Take your knees underneath your hips. Take your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Press into the floor with your hands. Lift your belly towards your spine so your abdominals are strong and engaged. Keep all that locked in and we'll extend the right leg back. Flex the right foot so the right toes point toward the floor. Take a big breath. And all we're going to do here is curl the right knee into the chest. So as you exhale, curl the knee into the chest or maybe the knee to the nose. As you inhale, kick the leg back, flex the foot, squeeze the glute. Exhale, curl in, squeeze the belly. Inhale, kick back. And let's go one more time. So exhale, curl the right knee in, squeeze the belly. And then inhale, kick that right leg back. Keep the right leg lifted. Shift your weight to your right hand just a bit. Reach the left arm out. So taking that 3-point table to a 2-point table. Feel the back of the body getting active. One more full breath here. And as you exhale, left hand down, right leg swings wide, sit back in child's pose. So we're taking this 3-point child's pose with the right leg out. Might feel good to rest the head on the hands. You might just need to stay up on the elbows, and that's okay. Just be wherever you can, stretching into the right hip. Stay for 2 breaths here. One more big breath. And then lift your way back up to tabletop. Tuck your right knee under. We're going to come back into that strong table position. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, belly lifted and strong. Keep everything locked in. Extend your left leg behind you. Flex your left foot so all 5 toes point down toward the floor. Squeeze your glute, take a breath. And as you exhale, curl your left knee to your nose. Squeeze the belly. Inhale, push the heel back, squeeze into the glute. As you exhale, curl the spine. Make sure you're creating that cat tilt in the back. Inhale, push back. And let's go one more time. Exhale, squeeze in. Strong abdominals. Inhale, kick back. Keep the left leg lifted. Lift the belly again and reach the right arm out. So taking that 3-point to a 2-point table. Strong lifting away from the floor. Last big breath here. And then exhale, right hand down. Take the left leg wide to the left side. Sit back in that 3-point child's pose. Stretching through the left hip. Stay for a breath or 2. See if you can come back to belly breathing. And then lift your way back up to tabletop. Tuck your left knee under. Walk your hands a little higher than your shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift up your knees, and come up to downward facing dog. So a few things about down dog. Just remember, if you need to keep your knees bent in order to be comfortable in down dog, your knees can be bent, your heels can be high. The closer your feet are to your hands, the less you're going to be stretching your hamstrings. So feel free to bring those feet in close and bend your knees. If you can walk your feet back, start to straighten the knees, the more you're going to stretch your hamstrings. What really matters here is that you find the stretch that's right for you. It should feel good. It shouldn't feel like it's too much. It shouldn't be too intense. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Take one more big breath here. And then with your inhale, we're going to walk the hands backward toward the feet, shifting all the body weight into the feet. Take the elbows, come into ragdoll. Tuck your chin so your head hangs heavy. Great place to move the head a little bit. Shake it no. Nod it yes. And then let it go. Bend the knees as much as you need to be comfortable. Take another breath. And as you exhale, let your arms go. Tuck your chin to your chest, bend your knees, and curl your spine, coming up to standing one vertebrae at a time. So let your arms be heavy, let your head be heavy. Rolling up, stacking the spine one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders come back and down, head comes up last, hands come to your chest. Find a gazing point in front of you, standing in mountain pose. Take a belly breath here. Let it go. As you inhale, sweep your arms overhead. With your exhale, we're going to take the right hand, loop the thumb and first finger around the left wrist, lean to the right, pull the left shoulder back, looking up past the elbow. Take one big breath on this side. Inhale, come back to center, separate the hands, and we'll reverse it. So left hand takes the right wrist, lean to the left, draw the right shoulder back, look up past the elbow, take a breath. And then inhale, come back up to the top. Exhale, sweep the arms down, bend the knees, come all the way back into your forward fold. And once you get down with the hands on the floor, walk your way out to plank. So coming all the way out, hands and feet, pressing the hands just under the shoulders. Abdominals are lifted and strong. Take one more full breath here. And as you exhale, just press back to downward facing dog. So coming back into downward dog. One more belly breath. As you exhale, look forward to your hands. When you inhale, take a few baby steps. Bring your feet between your hands, big toes close together. Take your hands to your shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And then with soft knees and a long spine, inhale, reverse swan dive. And exhale, bring your hands back to your chest, coming back into mountain pose. Stay for a breath here, taking a quiet breath in mountain pose. Try to be still. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, lift your gaze. Exhale, swan dive again to forward fold. As you inhale, we're going to touch the shins, find that half lift, look forward. And as you exhale, tap the fingers to the floor, step the right foot back, coming into runner's lunge. So let the hips drop toward the floor. Keep your right leg strong so the quad is tight, the knee is straight. So even though you're dropping your hips, you want to keep lifting your chest so you're creating that length in your spine. Stay for another full breath here. And as you exhale, we're going to drop the right knee, untuck the toes, shift the hips back, coming into half split. And we'll take 2 or 3 breaths here. Feel free to walk the hands a little farther back, lift the chest a little higher. You can also bend the left knee if it's too much on the left hamstrings. Take another breath. And then with your inhale, soften the left knee, shift your weight forward, put the sole of the foot down, and then reach the arms overhead, lifting into low lunge. So as you do this, make sure you've got the top of the right foot really pressing down. So we're getting that anchor feeling in the low lunge. You also have some anchor in that left heel, so pressing into the floor. And then that's the grounding aspects. The lengthening, lifting aspects are through the fingertips, through the chest, and through the gaze. Take another full breath. And then as you exhale here, bring your hands to your chest. We're going to twist to the left, cross the right elbow over the left knee, turn your chest to the left side of the mat, and stay for another breath. As you exhale, look down, reach down, frame that left foot, tuck your right toes, lift the right knee, step back to downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal the legs if that would feel good, or just find stillness. One more big belly breath. And we're going to make that same transition to the back of your mat. So walk your hands back, coming back into ragdoll. Take your elbows, tuck your chin, let your head hang. Maybe this time sway the upper body a little bit. Keep the knees soft. One more round of breath. And as you exhale, let your arms go. Bend your knees, curl your chin to your chest, and come up slowly one vertebrae at a time. Arms are heavy, head is heavy. Stacking up as you go. And once you get all the way up, shoulders come back and down, head comes up last, hands to prayer. Find that gazing point. Take a quiet breath in mountain pose. Make it a belly breath if you can. And then again on your inhale, reach your arms up. This time as we exhale, we're going to bend the right elbow. Take the left hand to the right elbow and lean to the left, keeping your face forward. And try to bring the right elbow behind the right ear. So we're trying to keep the chest open. Inhale, come all the way back up. Bend the left elbow. Reach for the left elbow with the right hand. Lean to the right. Take a breath on this side. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, soften your knees, swan dive to forward fold. And we're going to walk our way forward to plank. So coming all the way back out to that plank position, strong in your plank. So pressing into the floor with your hands, reaching the heels toward the back of your mat, making your legs really strong. One more full breath. And as you exhale, release to downward facing dog. So let the hips come up, maybe walk the feet in, bend the knees a little bit. Big belly breath here. And as you exhale, look forward with a few baby steps or maybe a jump. Bring the feet between the hands. Touch your shins and lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward, let the head go. Soften your knees. Inhale, long spine, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart, coming back to mountain pose. Take a quiet breath. So being still if you can. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, lift your gaze. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Inhale, touch the shins, find that half lift. And this time, step the left foot back, coming back into runner's lunge. Letting the hips drop, keeping the left leg strong. Lift your chest so that the spine is still long and straight here. This is a nice deep hip stretch. Take a breath. And we're going to release the left knee down. Untuck the left toes. Shift back to half split. As you go, remember you can walk the hands a little farther back so you can lift up a little higher. Keep the right knee bent if you need to. Find the hamstring stretch that feels good to you. Take one more round of breath. And then soften the right knee. Shift your weight forward. Reach two hands overhead. Remember, we're trying to straighten the arms. So if the arms need to be a little bit wider in order to be straight, you can take them wide. If you're able to reach directly up and straighten the elbows, then choose that. Anchor into the top of the left foot. Make this your last breath. And then exhale, hands to chest. We're going to twist to the right, crossing the left elbow over the right knee. Stay for a breath. And then exhale, look down, frame your right foot with your hands, tuck your left toes, pick up your left knee, step back to downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal the legs again. One more big belly breath here. We're going to make that same transition to the back of your mat. So walk your hands back. And just when you get back there, pause in your forward fold. Let your head go, release your breath, and then curl the spine to come all the way up to standing, just like we did before. Feel movement in every part of the back. Once you get all the way up, roll the shoulders back, lift the head last, bring your hands to your chest. So let's shift weight into the left foot. We're going to bring the right foot up to tree. So as the right foot comes up, the right knee opens out. You can keep the foot low or bring the foot a little bit higher. Find your gazing point. So if you look at something that's not moving, that can help you be a little more steady with your gaze. Stack your spine, draw your low belly in, make your left leg really active and strong. And then if you have your balance, reach your arms overhead. Separate your hands, draw your shoulder blades down, and keep your elbows straight if you can. Stay for another breath here. As you exhale, bring your hands to your chest. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh and sit back like you're sitting in a chair. So this is a standing figure four. You should feel a stretch in your right hip and your right knee. Just a breath here. And then press your way back up to standing. Kick the right heel out and float the right foot down. So a little space between the feet. We'll shift weight into the right foot, pick up the left foot, and bring the left foot up to tree. So remember, if you keep the foot low, it's going to be a little easier to balance. So just do that if you need to. If you want to try to bring it higher, you can try. If it doesn't work out, slide it back down. Hands to chest, strong standing leg. Really stack your spine as if there was a string pulling through the top of your head to create lots of length in your spine. Option to change the arms, reaching overhead, maybe separate the hands, draw the shoulder blades down, keep the arms long and straight. Take a full breath. And remember, if you're wobbling and falling out and coming back, that is all part of practice. It's all good yoga. Hands come back to your chest. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Sit back like you're sitting in a chair. Keep finding that gazing point. Standing figure four. Just take a breath. So this is the same stretch that we do in pigeon. We're just standing. And then inhale, press into the right foot, kick the left heel forward, and float the left foot back down. So feet are parallel position, a little space between the feet. Gazing forward again, inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, swan dive to that forward fold. Bend your knees as you go. Walk your way out to plank. Make sure you bring the hips as low as the shoulders, maybe a little bit lower. Squeeze the belly in and up and just take one more full breath. As you exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Feel free to bend the knees. Just take a breath here. And as you exhale, look forward to your hands. Walk or jump. Bring the feet forward. Lift to halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck your chin. Soft knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands to your chest. Find that gazing point. Take a full breath. Let it go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees. Inhale to half lift, touch your shins. And then again, as you exhale, we're going to step the right foot back, coming back into runner's lunge. So as you sink the hips down toward the floor, keep that right leg strong. Try to turn your right kneecap toward the floor. And again, we're just going to stay for a breath here. As you exhale, we're going to place the right knee down on the floor again, untuck the toes. This time we're going to take the left foot, Walk the left foot wider. So we're walking the left foot out to the left side. Bring two hands to the floor inside the left leg. And this is lizard lunge. So you can see it's a little deeper lunge. Hands are down. We're leaning the hips forward and down. And if you want to go a little bit farther, turn your left toes out to the corner. Push your left hand into your left knee and get a little more stretch in that left hip. And if that doesn't feel good in your body, just stay where you were. Stay for a breath. And then we're going to bring two hands back down to the floor. Tuck your right toes under. Lift up your right knee. And we're going to step the left foot back, just coming into downward facing dog. Pedal the legs a few times. One more full belly breath here. And then make that same transition to the back of your mat. Once you get all the way back, just exhale into the forward fold. Bend your knees, curl the spine, come all the way up to standing slowly. Take your time coming up. Shoulders come back and down, head comes up last, hands come to your chest. Good, just take a breath. And then this time, we're going to bring the right hand to the right hip. Shift your weight into your right foot. Pick up your left knee, and we're going to try to hold outside the kneecap. So the left hand goes to the left knee. Remember, we're still stacking our spine, so you want to stand as tall as possible. And then holding the left knee, we're going to open the left knee sideways. So as the left knee comes out, the belly button turns forward. Stay for another breath here. And then bring the left knee forward again, two hands to your hips, kick the heel, hold the leg out, just a breath. And then float the left foot down and we'll switch sides. So shifting weight to the left foot, pick up the right knee, holding outside the kneecap. Make sure you stack the spine, get strong in your standing leg, and then open the right knee sideways to the right. Keep finding that gazing point. Take a breath here, turning your belly button forward. And then bring the right knee forward, two hands to your hips, kick the right heel, just hold. You got it. And then float the right foot down, coming back into parallel position. Hands to chest. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Walk your way to plank. Same transitions we've been making. Just hold that plank position. Squeeze the belly in and up. Tuck the tailbone toward the heels. And then exhale, press back down facing dog. And take one full belly breath. And with your exhale, look forward to your hands. Inhale, walk or jump, feet between the hands. Lift to halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. And exhale to namaste. One breath here. Be as quiet and still as you can. And then inhale, sweep your arms back up. Lift your gaze. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Inhale to halfway. And this time, your left foot steps back. Coming back to runner's lunge. Let the hips drop. Keep the left heel high. Lifting onto the fingertips. Reach the chest up. Stay for one more breath. And then go ahead and release your left knee. Untuck the left toes so the top of the foot lays down. And we're going to start to walk the right foot out to the right side. So you can bring two hands inside the right leg. And it might be enough just to stay here in this, we call this lizard. So this is lizard. Or you might want to take your right hand and open the right knee out just a little bit, getting a little more stretch in that right hip. Take a breath or two. Good work. And then we're going to bring the right hand back down. Tuck the left toes under, lift up the left knee, and step back to downward facing dog. Pedal your legs a few times. And then one last time, we're going to make that same transition to the back of your mat. So walk your hands back. Once you get there, find the forward fold. We're going to heel toe the feet apart so the feet go wider. Turn your toes out to the corners, and we're going to sink down to yoga squat. So as the hips come down, you might need to keep your hands on the floor. You might be able to bring your hands to prayer. If you can't get your hips this low, you might be more like here, and that's okay. This is still a squat. We're easing into as deep of a squat as we can get without lifting the heels off the floor and without putting too much strain in the knees or the hips. So we'll stay for maybe 2 breaths here. Work on lengthening the spine. So lift your rib cage away from your waist. Work on pressing the knees out, pressing the heels down, keeping some width in those knees. Last breath here. Good work, you guys. As you exhale, bring your hands down, send your hips back up, heel toe the feet back to that parallel position, and one last time, we're going to walk our way back out to plank. Remember to sink the hips so they're shoulder height, reach the tailbone toward the heels, and engage the abdominals. One breath. And as you exhale here, press the hips back, coming back into downward facing dog. And just take 2 breaths here. And then strong in the arms, strong in the abdominals. Lift your right foot off the floor. As you exhale, bring your right knee to pigeon. So the right knee comes toward the right wrist. Sweep the left leg back. Settle the hips as low as you can. And then walk into that forward fold. So it might be that you stay up on your elbows, right? You might be able to come down on your forehead. You might be able to stretch all the way down to your chest. You just want to try to level off the hips, level off the shoulders, and then bring your attention back to your breath here. See if you can feel your breath moving through your belly. Let's stay for 2 more rounds of breath. So full inhales and slow exhales. And then as you inhale again, just walk your way back upright. We're going to lean our body weight to the right side. Bring the left leg around. Extend your left leg forward, coming onto the top of the sit bones. So we're sitting up as tall as we can. Take your right hand to your left thigh and just take a little twist to the left. Stay for 1 breath. Exhale and unwind back to center. You can bend your left knee a little bit. Reach for the calf or the ankle or the foot. Inhale for length. And then exhale into that forward fold. So remember, you might be up here. So your forward fold might just be here. You might even be taller than that. Doesn't really matter. You can bend the knee as much as you need to get comfortable. And just take another breath. And then inhale, rise back up. We're going to keep the right knee folded just like it is. Bring the left knee in. So we're going to come into butterfly. Soles of the feet coming together. Lift onto the top of the sit bones. You can hold the shins or the ankles or the big toes. Create length in the spine, like there's that string pulling through the top of your head. And then you could stay here, or you could take a little lean forward. Leaning forward is just going to increase the stretch in the hips. but you probably are already getting a hip stretch just sitting up tall, so that's your choice. Take another full breath. And then as you inhale again, come all the way back upright. We're going to keep the right leg folded. Extend your left leg out to the left side. So we're in this half straddle position. So your left leg, the farther forward it comes, the less stress you're going to feel in your hamstrings. So if it's way out wide and you don't feel comfortable, try to slide it forward a little bit. You do want to be able to come all the way upright. So we're going to tap the fingertips to the floor. One option again is just to stay lifted. Another option is to find that forward fold. If you fold forward, try to keep the left leg active so the quad is engaged, the foot is flexing, and the big toe is pointing toward the ceiling. Stay for a breath here. Good. And then walk your way back up. We're going to bring 2 knees into the chest. Touch your toes to the floor. Wrap your arms around your or underneath your legs, and we're going to get a couple of body rolls. So tuck your chin to your chest. We're going to roll to the shoulders, squeeze your abdominals in, roll to the shoulders, roll to the tailbone. Do a couple. Keep those abdominals strong. And then we're going to come forward on the next one, over your feet, step, step to downward facing dog. So again, make your arms really strong, make your abdominals really strong, lift your left foot off the floor, and then we'll tuck the left knee forward to pigeon. So finding that pigeon on the other side, slide the right leg back. You want to settle the hips as low as they'll go, and then walk your way into a forward fold. It's all right to stay propped on the elbows. It would be all right to stay propped on the hands, right? You can come down as low as you like. And we're just going to hold for a few rounds of breath. See if you can move your breath into your belly again and take full, deep belly breaths. One more big breath. And then from here, gently walk your way back upright. We'll lean body weight to the left. Bring your right leg around. Extend your right leg forward, coming back up to the top of your sit bones. Take your left hand to your right thigh, twist to the right. Just a breath here. And then come back to center. You can bend your right knee a little bit. Reach for your shin, your ankle, or your foot. Inhale for length. Exhale and fold. One more full breath. And then lift your way back up. We'll keep the left knee bent, tuck the right knee so the feet come together, soles of the feet, coming into butterfly or Baddha Konasana, creating length in the spine. Let the knees relax and drop. Option to stay seated or take that forward fold. Just 2 breaths here. And then inhale, rise back up. So on this side, we're going to keep the left leg bent, extend the right leg sideways. Remember, the wider that leg is, the more you're going to stretch your hamstrings and your groin. So bring it a little closer if you need to. You do want to keep the right leg active so the foot flexes, the quad is strong. Touch the fingers to the floor. Might be enough just to stay here. You might be able to lean into that forward fold. Stay for another breath. And then gently walk your way back upright. So we're going to bring the knees into the chest again. touch the toes to the floor. We're going to take a few body rolls again. So grab underneath your thighs, tuck the chin, roll back a few times. See if you can roll without hitting your head or your toes. So we're just balancing on the spine and the tailbone. Make this the last one, and we're just going to rock to the back. So coming all the way down to the back, extend 2 legs long and straight. Point your toes. Zip your legs close together. We're going to plant the hands on the floor, and then with the elbows, bend the elbows and lift, tucking the elbows just a little bit underneath the shoulders. So propping on the elbows. Toes are still pointed, legs are still close together. Lift your heart, drop your head, and come into fish. Last big breath. And then lift up the head, come down from the elbows, back onto the back. Draw the knees into the chest. Reach out for the outer calves, the outer ankles, or the edges of the feet, coming into happy baby. Rock yourself a few times side to side. And then let's tuck 2 knees into the chest. Open your arms in a T position, and we're going to shift the hips to the left and drop the knees to the right. So just bring 2 knees down on the right side. You can use your right hand to keep the knees close together. Settle your left shoulder blade and look to the left. Take a few rounds of belly breaths, slow, full breaths here. And then gently bring your knees to the center. We're going to shift our hips to the right and drop our knees to the left. Use your left hand to hold your knees in place. Extend your right arm out. Settle the right shoulder and look over to the right hand. Take a few rounds of breath. And then from here, gently bring your knees back into center. Might feel good to tuck the knees in, rock sideways a few times. And when you're ready, we'll just stretch the legs out, coming into a comfortable resting position. Arms down by your sides, palms facing up. Tuck your chin just a little bit towards your chest. Close your eyes. And see if you can settle into stillness as quickly as possible. So just imagine that your body is melting into the floor. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose with your mouth closed. Expanding your breath into your diaphragm so it feels like you're breathing through your belly. With your next breath, take a deep cleansing inhale, big breath. As you exhale, open your mouth and sigh it out. Let's do that again. Take a big breath. Sigh it out. And then reach your arms up, point your toes, give yourself a big squeeze. And then fold your knees in. Take your time here, roll gently to your right side. And just press your way up to seated. Come back up to a comfortable cross-legged position. Hands to your heart, bow your head. And I just want to remind you that what you have done in your practice today is all work that you have done. You have used your breath, you have used your stretches to create space in your body. So this is available to you anytime you need to do it, anytime you need a breath or a stretch. You can always come back to yoga. I invite you to carry this work into your day. Be present, remember to breathe. Namaste. See you next time.